Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will see some more practice questions based on application of derivatives. Practice questions from 7 to 12. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So let's start with question number 7, which says oil is leaking at the rate of 16 centimeter cube per second from a vertically kept cylindrical drum containing oil. If the radius of drum is 7 centimeter and height is 60 centimeter, then the rate at which the level of oil is changing when oil level is 18 centimeter is. So in this question, the hint is see, the oil is leaking at the rate of 16 centimeter per second is given. That is, volume is decreasing from the volume of cylindrical drum is decreasing at the rate of 16 centimeter per second. Clear? If the radius of drum is given 7 centimeter and height is given 60 centimeter, right? Then we have to find the rate at which the level of oil changing. That is, we have to find basically dH by dt. And dV by dt is given, which is minus 16 centimeter cube per second, right? Minus is because it is decreasing, right? Since height is 60 centimeter, original height, then we have to find the rate at which the level of oil is changing when the height of oil is then when the height of oil level is 18 centimeter, right? Clear? So you will first write volume of cylinder as pi r square h. After that, we can differentiate throughout both sides with respect to t. Clear? Okay. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Let h be the height of oil level at the instant t, and v the volume of oil in cylindrical drum. Now, given h equal to 60 centimeter and r is equal to 7 centimeter, and dv by dt is given as minus 16 centimeter cube per second, right? Clear? Now, volume is equal to pi r square h. Therefore, dv by dt can be written as pi r square into dh by dt. Since r is a constant all the time, right? R is not varying. Clear? R is constant. Only h is varying. Now, dv by dt is given minus 16 centimeter per cube. Minus 16 centimeter cube per second, right? And pi and r is 7, pi into 7 square into dh by dt. Clear? So dh by dt is minus 16 upon 49 pi. It is not depending upon uh, h at all, right? So dh by dt at h is equal to 18, since it is not depending upon h. So at any h, dh by dt will be minus 16 upon 49 pi, right? So height of oil is decreasing at the rate of 16 upon 49 pi centimeter per second. Clear? So I think option C is the right choice. 16 upon 49 pi. If option is 16 upon 49 minus 16 upon 49 pi, I think option A should be the right? Because it is decreasing. The rate at which oil is changing when oil level is 18 centimeter, that is minus 16 upon 49 pi, right? Because it is decreasing, right? Minus 16 upon 49 pi. Decreasing at, if it is given decreasing at the rate of 16 upon 49 pi, clear? Then option should be 16 upon 49 pi. If in question it would have asked that rate at which oil is decreasing, then answer should have 16 upon 49 pi. But it is asking the rate at which the level of oil is changing. But and the level of oil is basically decreasing, right? So answer should be A, which is minus 16 upon 49 pi, right? A is the right choice. Got it? Let's move to the next question, question number 8, which says two men A and B starts with velocity V at the same time from the junctions of two road, right? Inclined at 45 degree to each other. If they travel by different routes, the rate at which they are being separated is, right? So see, the hint of this question is two men A and B starts with velocity v. At the same time, see, there are two junctions of road. One man is going this side, one man is going this side, right? Clear? On different roads from same junction. The rate at which they are being separated, right? We have to find the rate at which, suppose this is y, we have to find the rate at which this y is being increasing, right? Clear? We have to find dy by dt. Got it? So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. C. Suppose suppose L and M, the positions of two men A and B, right? L is position of men A and M is position of men B at time t. This is M. Clear? And OL is equal to X. Suppose OL is equal to X. Clear? O is this, L is this, M is this. OL is equal to X, LM is equal to Y. See, LM is equal to Y. We have to find dy by dt, right? Because this Y is deciding the difference between their distances, right? That is the rate dy by dt will represent rate at which L and M are separating, right? That is two men A and B are separating each other. Now OM is equal to X. Clear? Since OL is equal to X, OL is equal to X, so OM will also be X, right? Because the two men starts with same velocity v. Clear? Because so in same time both will cover distance x, right? Clear? Now given dx by dt is equal to v, and we have to find dy by dt, right? Now see, this angle is given 45, so x and y and 45. So let's apply the cosine formula, which is cos 45. Cos 45 will be OL square. Cos 45 degree will be OL square plus OM square minus ML square upon 2 OL OM. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2 is equal to x square plus x square. OL is x, OM is x, and LM is y, right? Therefore, x square plus x square minus y square upon 2x into x, right? Therefore, it will be 1 by root 2 is equal to 2x square minus y square upon 2x square, right? Which after solving and simplification, you will get root 2x square is equal to 2x square minus y square, right? Moving the value of x square on each side, you will get 2 minus root 2 x square is equal to y square. So after solving, you will get y is equal to root over 2 minus root 2 into x. Now you got y in terms of x, right? Now since dx by dt is given b, and we have to find dy by dt. Yep, and you got y in terms of x, right? So on differentiating with respect to t, we get dy by dt is equal to root over 2 minus root 2 dx by dt. Right. So therefore, dy by dt is equal to root over 2 minus root 2 into v. Clear? Since dx by dt is equal to v, hence they are being separated from each other at the rate root over 2 minus root 2v. Clear? They are being separated from each other at the rate root over 2 minus root 2v. Clear? I think option A is the right choice. Root over 2 minus root 2v. Clear? So let's move to the next question. Question number 9, which says the interval in which the function fx equal to x to the power 1 by x is increasing is. Clear? So we have to find interval in which fx equal to x to the power 1 by x is increasing. So what is condition for increasing function? The condition is f dash x should be greater than 0, right? For strictly increasing, and for increasing, f dash x should be greater than equal to 0. Clear? So fx is given, we will find f dash x, and we will apply f dash x greater than 0, and we will see that in which interval it is lying after applying the inequality. Right. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Given fx is equal to x to the power 1 by x. So f dash x can be calculated. See, you can calculate f dash x by taking log both sides, right? Log fx, right, is equal to 1 by x log x. Clear? Now you can apply product rule to apply differentiation. And after that you can send this thing to get to get now this will be f dash x upon, when we differentiate f dash x upon fx is equal to differentiation of this thing using product rule, right? And after that you will send this fx on right hand side, which is x to the power 1 by x, this one, right? So you will get f dash x of after doing differentiation as f dash x is equal to 1 by x square into 1 minus log x into x to the power 1 by x, right? Therefore f dash x should be greater than 0. Now if 1 minus log x greater than 0, see, the function is increasing. This term is always positive. This term is always positive, and 1 by x square is always positive, right? So 1 minus x, 1 minus log x should always be positive, right? Therefore, 1 minus log x should be greater than 0. Therefore, log x should be less than 1, right? So x is less than e. Clear? Therefore, x is less than e. Therefore, fx is increasing in the interval minus infinity to e. Clear? X less than e, minus infinity to e. Clear? So I think option A is the right choice. Clear? Minus infinity to e. Got it? Now let's move to the next question, question number 10, which says the function fx is equal to x plus 1 by mod x is. Okay. So you have to find whether this function is strictly increasing, decreasing, or neither increasing nor decreasing. Clear? This kind of thing. So the hint of this question is, see, first you will break this function as a piecewise function. You can write fx as or you can directly find differentiation. You can directly take derivative, but you have to keep in mind that uh, fx will be x upon 1 plus x when x greater than 0, and fx will be 1 upon 1 minus x when x will be less than 0. Clear? After that, you will see whether fx is greater than 0, that is greater than 0 or less than 0, or neither greater than 0 not less than 0, right? In that way you can decide whether it is strictly increasing or strictly decreasing, or neither strictly increasing nor decreasing, right? Clear? So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. C. Fx is basically x upon 1 plus mod x, right? Now we can calculate uh, f dash x. See, we can apply quotient rule. C. First we will keep 1 plus mod x one side, 1 plus mod x, and differentiate x, which is 1 minus. We will keep x c and differentiate 1 plus mod x. See, you have to remember that the differentiation of mod x is basically mod x upon x, right? You can write differentiation of mod x is mod x upon x. Clear? So it will be minus of x into mod x upon x, right? You can have applied piecewise function also, right? But if you apply like this, you can keep in mind that differentiation of mod x is mod x upon x. Now this x and x will cancel out. You will left with 1 plus mod x minus mod x, and mod x will be cancelled out. So you're left with, and in the denominator 1 plus mod x square, right? So you're left with 1 upon 1 plus mod x square, which is always greater than 0, right? Whatever will be the value of x, because in the denominator it is mod x, right? Clear? So it is strictly increasing, right? Therefore fx is strictly increasing. Clear? So I think option A is the right choice, strictly increasing. Got it? Okay. So let's move to the next question, question number 11, which says the length of longest interval in which the function 3 sin x minus 4 sin cube x is increasing. All right. So again, you have to apply the concept of increasing decreasing function, right? So the hint of this question is, see, we know that the value of 3 sin x minus 4 sin cube x is sin 3x, right? So we can directly write fx is equal to sin 3x, right? And after that, we can apply f dash x. We can find f dash x, and uh, we can find the interval in which f dash x is basically greater than 0, right? So that will be the interval in which this function 3 sin x minus 4 sin cube x, which is sin 3x, is increasing throughout, right? So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. As we have discussed, fx is equal to 3 sin x minus 4 sin cube x, which can be written as equal to sin 3x. Now, since sin x is increasing in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, we know this, right? Clear? We can apply f dash x also, right? But see, we can also see, we know that sin x is increasing in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right? Because we know the graph of sin x is like this. See, it's like this. If this is minus pi by 2, this is pi by 2, right? So see, you can say that from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, it is increasing, right? It is increasing function. So we can directly see that sine of 3x is strictly increasing from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means 3x should be between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. That means x should be between minus pi by 6 to pi by 6, right? We are asking the length of longest interval, right? So the length of interval will be pi by 6 plus pi by 6, which will be equal to pi by 3. Clear? So the length of longest interval in which the function this sine 3x is increasing is pi by 3. Right? So option A is the right choice, pi by 3. Got it? Right. So let's move to the next question, question number 12, which says an angle theta, where theta is between 0 to pi by 2, which increases twice as fast as its sine. Right. So the hint of this question is, see, we have to find the theta which increases twice. That means d theta by dt is 2 times. The theta is increasing twice as fast as sine. Right. So d of sine theta by dt is 2 times d theta by dt. Clear? No, sorry. D of, see, the angle theta at which the theta which increases twice as fast as, right? That is d theta by dt should be d theta by dt is equal to 2 times d of sine theta by dt, right? I was right. Clear? So d theta by dt is should be 2 times d of sine theta by dt. Clear? So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. C. Given d theta by dt is 2 times d of sine theta upon dt, right? So let's take derivative of sine theta. So 2 times, so derivative of sine theta is cos theta into d theta by dt is equal to d theta by dt, right? Therefore, 2 cos theta is equal to 1. Clear? Therefore, cos theta is equal to 1 by 2. So theta should be equal to pi by 3. Clear? Theta is equal to pi by 3. So the at theta is equal to pi by 3, d theta by dt is increasing twice as much as d of sine theta upon dt. Clear? So I think option D is the right choice. Pi by 3. Got it? So in this way, we have discussed a lot of questions based on application of derivative. In the next class, we will discuss more questions based on the topic applications of derivative. Hope you understood all the concepts, right? Okay. Thank you so much.